So what is the attachment system? The attachment system is our brain mechanism that tracks and monitors for safety in a relationship, and that feeling or that attachment system is what we're constantly doing to see how close we want to let our partner in or not. The attachment system of somebody who is anxious is on hyper alert all the time. This person is conscious of their anxious attachment, or they're conscious of this process, and they're very hyper aware. So this person might pick up small cues that the other person might be emotionally checked out or might be cheating. Doesn't mean they're always right, but typically they're going to pick up on those things a little quicker. They're hyper aware, they're on edge, and that attachment system is activated, it's up. Whereas somebody with avoidant attachment, their attachment system is deactivated, and that's their comfort level is deactivating to feel less closeness. So they're going to do things when they feel like it's too close to feel more repressed, more away from the relationship. So anxious people, attachment system is activated. Avoidant people, their attachment system is deactivated. So if these two people are in a relationship together, which these two people are typically attracted to each other pretty often, they're going to be here and here. So the goal is to deactivate that activated attachment system, the anxious person, bring them down a few notches. And for the deactivated avoidant person, it's to activate them to get them towards intimacy a little bit more. So a common misconception, and mostly with people who have anxious attachment, is that the anxiety, that hyper-aware, the heart-racing feeling is love, and it's actually just activated attachment system or the hormones rushing through your body when it's a new person. So these feelings actually aren't love, they're hormones, it's attachment system, it's all these things from your past all together. But love and true intimacy shouldn't feel like terror. The next concept is protest behavior. So protest behavior is when a person does something, it's the action to get more closeness or push it away. So for the anxious attached person, it's their failed attempts at getting the person closer, and it typically doesn't work very well, but that might be calling 20 times, blowing up your phone, going to that person's work, their boyfriend or girlfriend's work, to tell them how they feel or talk about that fight they had. Maybe it's making the person jealous, acting out to make the person think that they're cheating, anything to get attention, get engagement. Well, if the person's secure, they might not want to put up with this, and if the person's avoidant, they're not really going to care. So typically it's a failed attempt, but it's these attempts to get closeness, get attention, whereas the avoidant person is going to detach. Their protest behavior is, I'm backing off. So that might be distractions, whether a hobby or a behavior, or addictions like food addiction, drugs and alcohol, gambling. These things distract from the relationship. So essentially what they're doing is distracting from intimacy. So of course the ideal mate for most people is a securely attached person. Wouldn't that be great? And even though 50% of the population is securely attached, pretty much in the dating pool, they're not there. They're usually in relationships. And anxious people, even if the relationship isn't good, they're going to hold on to that relationship more than what might be healthy. So the majority of the dating pool ends up being avoidant people because they break up quicker because they don't want to be in a relationship, or they just don't end up actually committing or being attached to people. So that's one of the reasons dating is hard, especially dating on apps, is because a lot of the people that you're swiping through on these apps are going to be avoidant attached people. It makes dating just that much harder, but if you know these cues that tell you the securely attached people or the people who have more healthy dating styles or relationship habits, you might make a better choice. Okay, so what now? What can you do to apply all this information to your life now? Well, chances are, as you're listening to me talk, you think that maybe either yourself or your partner or maybe a friend in a relationship that they're in fall into one of these categories of anxious or avoidant. So here's what you can do now if you are in a relationship and you are an anxious person. Number one, just be more communicative. Use effective and clear communication with the person that you're with. Number two, recognize the abundance philosophy. Sometimes when you're in a relationship, you feel like this is the only person in the world for you. But if they're not treating you well or if it doesn't fit, they're clearly not the only one. There's a lot of really great fits. There's not just one love of your life. There's going to be a lot of really good potential fits for you. So recognize that there's a lot of people, and until you're in a really committed relationship, give people a chance. Go on dates, have conversations, be aware that there are more options. So the other three things are be authentic, be yourself. If you change for somebody, it's not going to feel too good for you in the end anyway. So just be yourself and be aware when you start changing for somebody. And then you also just want to be able to recognize the other things that don't fit in a relationship. So be able to spot them out when you're dating and rule out people that aren't going to be a good fit for you. So what to do if you're avoidant? Well, there's 4 things that I'm going to tell you right now you can do. Number 1, be aware of your deactivating strategies, or the things that you do unconsciously that you're not even aware of that keep intimacy away from you. Those are distractions, tasks, hobbies, walking a few feet away from your partner, avoiding telling them that you're committed for a long time. All of these things are unconscious ways that you keep them at an arm's length distance, so just be aware of that. Number 2, mutual support with your partner. A lot of times avoidant people just want to be in their own. They want their independence, they want to be alone, which is good some of the time, not all the time. So think of things that you can do with your partner and look at your partnership as a team. Another thing that you can do is be aware of those distractions that you do that could be falling into the addiction category. When you fall into those behaviors, question, am I doing this for a distraction from intimacy, or is it something I'm doing for pleasure? Another thing is make a gratitude list. So a lot of times people that are avoidant will think of all the reasons they shouldn't be with their partner. I'm going to make this list. Oh, that's a lot of reasons. Break up. But what you also should do is make a relationship gratitude list. Why I actually like my partner, why I want to be in this relationship, what are all the benefits I'm getting from this situation. So it's easy to look at the negative that gives you evidence to push away, but force yourself to look at the positive of what this relationship actually brings to you. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment or leave any questions below on this video, and feel free to check out my website and my social medias, ask questions, make comments, and engage with me. Remember, these conversations are all so important. Lastly, a lot of the things I was talking about today can be found in this book. This is one of my favorite relationship books called Attached. I highly recommend it. It's a relaxed, easy read for both therapists and the non-therapist person. So this relationship book is definitely helpful for most people. So definitely check it out. It is by Amir Levine and Rachel Heller, Attached. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, this is Dr. Amie Harwick.